Ambassadoll.
Hey, Regina, how are you?
I'm good, and you? I was just about to pull off because I totally forgot. Give me 1 minute. You guys, hold on. I so apologize.
That's okay. That's okay.
Give me a second. I'm going to run back in the house. Excuse me. Yeah. Okay.
Can you hear me okay?
I can.
I always have my music so loud because I keep spa music going, and I'm always like, is that too loud? So is that too loud?
Nope, I can barely hear it.
Oh, perfect. Perfect. I can barely hear it is the goal.
Oh, okay.
So I'm going to take up 15 minutes of your time, if you don't mind.
No.
Awesome. So, Regina, this is literally my opportunity to debrief with you and go over Christmas 2020. Give you the opportunity to speak your mind, give some input, some output if you're not returning, some advice. Just tell me, what had happened was. So, how was your party?
Excuse me. Actually, it was a lot of fun.
Good.
I was telling my sister that it was very similar to the fact that for my 60th birthday party that I sent out gift bags.
Ah, okay.
So, and I said I was before my time, or learned, did that to understand what I really needed to do or where my mindset was going to be.
Right. So it gave you an opportunity to sort of. I already did that.
Yeah.
Which a lot of dolls I'm hearing from needed that.
Particularly
when dealing with delivery times with the post office.
Right, and that's why I knew I had to get. And I actually ended up having, I had two girls here who didn't get their packages on time, and one young lady in California who didn't.
Sorry to hear that.
But outside of that, everybody had it, and I've gotten a lot of, I've gotten some feedback. I say a lot, but I've gotten some feedback on it about how the girls felt about it. And I was just glad. The reason why I chose to do the Zoom is because I wanted to send them a party in the bag.
Okay.
And I couldn't do that if I went live.
Right. Yep. So that was your decision for going Zoom, is you wanted to do a party in a bag.
Yes. I wanted to control what they got, and everything that they got in the bag, there was a reason behind it.
What did you put in your bag, if you don't mind my asking?
Oh, I actually have one right here. So, in order to ship the dolls, I did take them out of their boxes.
Okay.
And so, they had a small bag. I'll grab the small bag. They had the small bag, and there was a nail file in there, and I explained to them that the nail file was because they should never let their nails look bad.
Even in COVID.
And so it says sparkle. They got some sparkle putty just to know they got to keep it together.
I love it.
They got a little coin purse that said it said girls rock or something else, and I told them you should never be without money. There's a diamond scatter that I got out of the proposal or engagement party section at Party City.
Yep.
And I told them they were a diamond. They needed to always remember that they were a diamond, to keep that, to remind them that they were a diamond. They had a little tiara in this one bag. They had a little tiara pin that they could put in their hair, so they'll always look cute and have their tiara with them.
Cute.
There's tissue, so they always have a tissue. Never go without a tissue.
Because
tears. They had a cookie that had pink frosting on it, and then they had the chocolate coins, one covered in pink foil and one covered in black foil.
Wow. And plus their doll.
No, that was a small bag. That was not the large bag.
Oh, okay. So you did 2 bags?
They had 2 bags.
Wow.
And
I want to go to your party.
Yeah, they had 2 bags and they had a folder. So they got but in the folder actually gave them, there was a word that I chose. Mm-hmm. I just put a random word for them to create their vision board to use for their vision board. And it was a word. I asked them to explain to me what the word meant to them, and I asked them to use the word, make that their word for the next year.
Wow. Oh, a bounce back. I love that. I don't think we've ever had that.
Oh, yeah. That's what I asked them to do. And everybody had a different word.
Marketing. I love it.
Yes,
wow.
yes.
That's good.
And in the folder, there was a Barbie paper sequin tiara that I had them to put on, and a sash. Disney had these sashes. Like this one here says, "Dreams do come true." Mm-hmm. And I asked them to put those on and make sure they took pictures and sent me a copy. I haven't gotten all the copies, so I knew I probably wouldn't.
Yeah, yeah.
There was a piece of paper that said, "Don't quit your daydream."
Ah, wow.
And then like a weekly undated calendar. So I told them, use that to write out what you're going to do. Always know what you're going to do, basically. But use it to do plans. Plan for the things that you want to do, what your dreams are.
What's the average girl in your group?
The average girl, I believe, ended up being about 12.
Oh, perfect. Perfect.
Yeah, ended up being about 12.
Perfect.
So, and then, I always wrap a Hershey's bar.
Yep.
So I had that. We did a drawing for the dolls that I gave away, and so it was the Black Doll Affair, Be a Doll, Give a Doll, and it had a number on the back, so everybody had one.
Nice.
They had a napkin that says "Like a Boss." It's white with gold embellishment on it.
Wow. Jeez.
They had a pink fork, and the reason why they had a fork with a pink handle was because when my very first party that I did, there was a little girl. This is what I gave to them to eat with, and her mother called me in a panic the next week because she had taken her pink fork home and had broken it and wouldn't eat, and that's all she had been eating since she had left the party.
Aww.
So I gave them one, and I told them, whenever
special.
you want to eat pretty, here's the fork for you to use.
Wow. Wow.
They had a gold star. I mean, a pink glitter star in order to remind themselves that they were a star. They had a color pencil that had 3 colors that comes together at one tip. And I told them, you never know who you are, what you're going to be, but you're going to come together and be together all the time. So when you write with that pencil, they had pink beads. They had a notepad. This one says "Shine Bright." There was some that said "Girl Power." It actually could be a stir. It has a star on the end. It was a little glitter-looking star, and I told them that was their magic wand. Make it happen.
Oh my goodness, Regina, that's.
And they
awesome.
had a 3D butterfly because they're butterflies.
And can blossom into whatever they want to be.
Whatever they want to be. And then I took up my picture that I had on my thing with my black doll, and I wrote their name on it and told them, just thank them. And that's what they got. And then their doll. And their doll was in there.
Holy wow.
And so then when I got your package with
there's more.
I actually got a butterfly thank you card, and I wrote a personal thank you to each one of them and put their their sticker, the black doll sticker that you sent to each one.
Ah, so everybody got that sticker. I love that sticker.
Yeah, I love that sticker.
That's a good sticker.
Yes. And I wanted them to have that sticker, so everybody they got it later in a thank you card.
Nice.
Nice.
So are these returning baby dolls? Are these newbies that are experiencing you for the first time and getting lucky, or a combination of both?
There were, I think, at least 3 returning. The rest were all new.
And what?
Part of that was because of the girls that I had reached out to. Some of them didn't return, and one young lady, her mom was ended up coming out of LA. Her mom was a Girl Scout leader, and she asked me if I had room to add any more girls. And I told her, I said, well, I've got to get this paperwork in. I said, if they're ready to go, I have so many girls that I can do. Let me get my people who have to respond by my drop dead date, and if they get their paperwork in, I'll include them. When I got the drop dead date, I let her know, and those mothers went shoop and sent me that paperwork.
Girl Scouts are the best.
Yes.
I think we talked about this earlier, but paperwork are us when it comes to Girl Scouts. They just get it. And as I said to you before, we got our paperwork game from the Girl Scouts with Aisha being on board.
Okay.
So hopefully you'll do what I did and keep them on board, and because it just makes it so much easier to have people that understand and get that part and realize that it's just as much a part of the experience as the end game of getting the doll.
Yes.
Good.
Yes. And I will tell you, it was, and then just to set up and do the Zoom call, and as they came in on the Zoom call, I asked them their name, I greeted them, and I tried to make sure that I kept the energy going and what we were doing, and making sure that they were, involved and trying to keep them going. I had one young lady, her package went to her aunt's house, and her aunt had to take it to her, and her aunt was late getting it there. And you literally could see her face. She still was there, but she wasn't as engaged, and I could tell when her aunt got there with her package. She got so engaged and she started smiling.
Oh, because it's the show and tell day where Mama forgot to put it in your lunchbox. It's like you're excited about it, but you didn't get your goods.
Right.
Oh, but she did get them.
What would I do different? I would start with trying to get the new girls sooner. Mm-hmm. That's really what I would do, try to get the new girls sooner. Because I sent out to all, everybody that I knew, and I put on Facebook, but I ended up with so many new girls that I would start with trying to get the new girls and let anybody who's been there in the past be the fillers instead.
Yeah.
And of course, not being at church, it was kind of, which was, they were all looking forward to it, and people saying, "Oh, my daughter didn't get to do it." Well, I put out the information, but you didn't reach. You didn't see me, and I know it was online.
Right.
But
right.
I can't control what you didn't respond to.
That's right. That part. You got to respond to get.
Yes.
So I tried to make it to your party. To that, I had you on the list. And between my time zone and yours, I just got it completely screwed up. Completely screwed up.
And I had told them that you might make it, and we literally had just said goodbye when I saw you trying to come in.
Yeah, I tried to, and Zena's like, "Mama doll, your time zone is wrong. She's on now." I'm like, "Now?" And I'm like, "Oh, that's right," because I was thinking Central Time. Texas is the same as Atlanta, and then I'm like, "Hello, Dana, you grew up in Texas. That's Central Time. She's 2 hours, not 1 hour." So I just got it all screwed up, and then I tried to get in, and I was like, "I can't get in."
Oh no! Yeah, I saw when Regina came in.
Yeah.
But yes, and she's so awesome, by the way.
Well, that was my next question: is what's your Ambassadoll rating?
Out of what?
1 to 10.
100.
Wow.
Yeah,
wow.
She's awesome.
That's awesome.
Yes, so she's very awesome. She's very on it. Yeah. Very responsive. Very on it. So I definitely appreciated that.
1 to 10, 100 out of 10. We can move on. That's awesome. It is good to hear, though, that you all are getting the feedback that you need from your Ambassadolls, because they are in place not to block or keep the communication from me to you, but to literally be your backup support. And so that rating says that that's exactly what you got. Right.
It is. She was very, very, very thorough in everything she did.
Wonderful. Scale of 1 to 10, how'd your mama doll do?
I will tell you, I will give you a 9.
Not a 99? I'm joking. Go ahead. No, it's okay. Look, I'm just joking.
You were managing a whole bunch of other stuff, right? She was not having to go to in the middle of the night.
Just joking.
But the only reason I say that tentatively because I really feel like it was a 10 because this was so much of an unknown.
Yeah. It was an unknown year.
But the only reason why I really say a 9 or even a 9.5 had to do with, it was like, I know we were figuring out what we needed to do, and it was that Friday that you said, well, next Friday we got to have the paperwork.
Yeah.
And I get it that we needed to have the paperwork, and I didn't have a problem paying the charge, but I just felt like if we had known, if I'd had for me, personally, if we had at least 2 weeks, I would have had 2 weekends. Because if I could have gotten I think I would have had all the paperwork done if I could have just had till Monday. But once I asked, and she said, no, it had to be Friday. We didn't have until Monday. It was like, well, I can go ahead and go after some more girls. And that's what I did. And so for me, that was the biggest hiccup of all, was just that one thing. Was like, if I could have just had 2 weekends to deal with getting paperwork, I felt like I wouldn't have been late. Again, I wasn't worried about paying the money. It was more about the girls, so it was definitely worth it for me. But I would have appreciated once you told us that day, because you said it that Friday, and it was like, oh, well, now it's due next Friday. Along with the fact that already working and managing and putting stuff in together to get all of this done.
Yep, I hear you, and I am the leader that literally I ask that question because I can take a hit. And I don't think that you can build as a leader unless you've got people around you saying no, 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 as opposed to yes, yes, yes. Don't need a bunch of yes people around me. That serves us no purpose. Paperwork is something that in these debriefings I have heard over and over again. Paperwork, what's the downside? Paperwork, what's the load point? Paperwork. So I do hear that and I receive it. And I've spoken to the Ambassadolls about seeing what we can do, not just because of 2020, but over the years, paperwork is always an issue. This year paperwork fell for different people in different places. If you were, delivering dolls at the mailbox and that you wanted, moms to then take photos, paperwork. If you weren't delivering, no paperwork. If you were Zooming, paperwork for everybody that's going to be on screen. So paperwork is an issue. And with that said, and receiving it and knowing that is the takeaway for me in terms of my report card and paperwork, and hearing people say that, paperwork is something, particularly as veterans, that's always due. Even this afternoon when I was talking to the Ambassadolls, and one of the Ambassadolls said, well, if we just given them a little bit more time. And I heard it because I'd heard it before. And then what I would say to that is heard. Paperwork is obviously something that stagnates the process, so how do we get it better? But paperwork was something that we mentioned early in the year. For veterans, we all know that the photo release paperwork is something that's needed. You're different in that your party has always been in your house, and so you post it, and that's that. So I could see where that's a challenge for you, because you've never partnered, unless I'm forgetting, you've never partnered with an organization and had to go about it that way, correct? It's always been in your home.
Well, at my home or at my church, but I was the main involved. I didn't have a third party between me.
Right, you're posting the photo release on the wall.
Right.
Walk into this room and you've relinquished your photo rights.
Yes.
So I hear that. The thing that I would just say to that is heard. Period. This is not a but. And as a veteran, just so that if legal for you is a nightmare, then legal for me is a terror. And so as much as I have to plan for that every year, I would just say build a base. Try not to have to reinvent the wheel every year in terms of where you're going, who you're going to, and how you're going to do it. But I have heard people say that I didn't give them enough time, but that was a date that I mentioned prior to, hey, your deadline is next Friday. That was a date that I advertised in advance, but apparently a lot of people missed it. So I will own that paperwork is an issue for everybody, but I will push back and say in my report card, as I would do if I was in 8th grade and somebody gave me a C and I maybe deserved some of it, but not all of it. I'll be a little bit of Dane and say, but I did, in fairness to me, say and advertise that date earlier before, hey, don't forget, today's Friday and next Friday is your deadline. So to that I would say, just as a veteran, and maybe this is something we can do with our team leads, is make sure that if somebody misses a call or when we do our debriefings in our teams, reiterate the important stuff like deadlines, because that was not something that was slipped in a week in advance. That was, hey, you guys are going to be getting a deadline for your paperwork, so get in formation. I did give that. But again, with that received, we'll figure out how to automate paperwork so it's not an issue for me or you, because the bottom line is that, your deadline is my deadline. So it doesn't serve me to give you a last minute deadline. It serves me to give you a deadline because we all have to meet it. Right. We're all affected.
And I accept also on my end too. I obviously missed it and didn't realize that the paperwork was out there. I had to have missed that part, right? Yeah. That the that I missed that was a date before that, and then but when you said that, I'm looking at the paperwork going, how did I miss that? Yeah. How did I, so I definitely have to look at myself in that manner too, and that's a learning point for me, because normally, of course, I know, this is where I go, this is what I got to do, I could do that, and it wasn't, to me, I never had to worry about that part. Yeah. So, but this time it was, and I have to look at myself to say, okay, what did you do wrong? What can I do better, right, to make sure I understand.
And that's what it's all about. There's no fault blaming. It's if we're going to stay and be in this relationship, how do we keep getting better at it? Right. So it's a healthy way of being. How do we all get better? And that's my goal, is to hear what you just said and take that so that it's a better experience for all parties involved. Right. So I appreciate that feedback.
Sure.
So are you returning next year?
Honey child, yes. Wouldn't miss it for the world.
Yay. Well, I will tell you that I'm looking to do something even more fun, more unique. My goal every year is always like, what else can we do? I knew that 2020 presented a break in how we've always done it. I knew that there would be pushback, because what we all love doing is seeing, feeling, being a part of that physical emotion. And you miss some of that, although it can be done. Hello, Oprah, millions of followers that didn't get to sit in her studio audience. Phil Donahue and Barbara Walters. The tube has connected us as people, and so we don't want to discount that ability to connect and, more importantly, change people's minds through digitally. So it can be done. I knew that there would be some pushback because that's not what we wanted. But I always knew there'd be, a pleasant surprise at the end of the day, and that's what I'm really hearing from everybody, is that it was a lot better than I thought it would. I actually enjoyed it, so that's cool. We have, so thank you for returning. Welcome back, Carter. So stay tuned on 2021 and how we take all this feedback and develop even better movement. As for the gift from Mattel and the Black Doll Affair, I posted in the group that everybody would be getting, as a thank you, our Christmas Ambassadolls would be getting the 2020 Barbie. But I made the mistake of getting the memo from Mattel saying, hey, Mama Doll, this is what we're going to send you to give to the Christmas Ambassadolls. And then I put it on the internet and couldn't get it to the amount that I wanted because I advertised it, discounting the fact that we're the largest consumer group of black dolls. And so we will be sending out a gift to everyone. I've chosen one. One of the things that I've said to our partners over at Mattel is, and agreed to, hey, perhaps since y'all buy up all the black dolls, until you get them in the dollhouse, you don't advertise it, if that's what you're going to give as a gift. So, lesson learned. We've got a pretty cool backup. I just need to wait for everybody to return from holiday, and we'll get that out to y'all. But it is coming. Okay. It's just not going to be what I said it would be because I got a big mouth.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
Okay, well, I appreciate you being here. I love your parties, as always. Outstanding work. Your energy is what everybody needs to mirror. It's just always, okay, let's do it. Okay, let's get it done. Okay, I'm excited. And that's what we need, particularly when we get handed lemons, is for veterans like you to make lemonade. So thank you.
Thank you. No, thank you.
Good job.
Thank you.
All right, doll. Well, be safe tonight, whatever you're doing.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. No, headed to go get dinner. We're just trying to figure out what to do. It's raining here, so we were just headed out so we could figure out what we needed to purchase so we'd have dinner, because I had to work this week a little bit.
Okay.
So
I understand.
Yeah.
Love your post. Keep going in that direction of happy. Do you?
Oh, thank you.
Be grown.
Yes.
Have fun.
Yes. I will. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
It's something else dating a comedian, right, too?
Oh, is he a comedian?
Yes.
Awesome. Make you giggle.
Yeah, so that's...
We need that. That's awesome. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, enjoy him.
All right, I will. Thank you.
You're welcome. Y'all have fun tonight.
All right.
All right.
Take care.
You too.
All right.
Bye-bye.
Bye.